Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. BJonGameDay back again for another week. As always, joined by your illustrious co-host, Josh King, and Bogues on the line. How are we, gentlemen?
Not too bad, buddy. Yourself?
Yeah, mate, can't complain. Bogues, how are we?
Yeah, I'm alright, mate. Yourself? Freezing my ass off, like everyone.
Yeah, not bad. A bit chilly down here in the nation's capital, mate, boys. Been a couple of weeks. It feels like we're just saying it's been a while, eh? But it's been a couple of weeks. We had Origin, didn't do a post-game show, and then Bogan had some extracurricular activities that meant we didn't have a show 2 weeks ago. But Origin on Sunday, boys, and round 16 ahead. What do you think of Origin, King?
Yeah, mate, it was very nice to get down to Canberra for that week and enjoy the cold down there, mate. But Origin, look, things are heating up. 1-1 heading into the third game. Happily, I'm going to the third game this year, boys. I bought tickets before the series just with this anticipation to see it sort of 1-1 going into the third. And, yeah, the Blues were great, mate. Matty Burton on debut, wow. Really, really impressed. Just also with his composure and his game management, like, you know, just floating in and out from sort of centre to be that kicker or that, you know, on that last play. He just really handled it well, and Cleary bounced back, mate. So, no, it was good to see the Blues get a big win.
For sure, mate. Absolutely. And good evening, everyone in the chat. Good to see you in there. We're copping a bit of flack in the BJ group today. People saying whether there'll be a show or not, but we're here, King. We're here. The people.
We're part-time warriors, mate. Fuck.
We can rejoice. Before we jump into it, King.
Full-time fathers, part-time warriors.
That's it, mate. That's it. Part-time greyhound champions as well. Look, mate, before we jump into it, round 16 ahead, obviously. Can you give us an idea of where you're at? What's your rank? How many trades you got? How many boosts you got? How many you're looking like having for 17, the big buy round? Can you give us an update? You going all right this season?
I've sort of fallen off the bandwagon, boys. I've fallen off the fucking planet with SC. I really haven't paid any attention in the last 2 or 3 weeks.
Shieldsy just quickly is asking, is Burton off the list?
Mate, Burton, he's not off. I tell you what, he's got my respect as a football player, but he can't. I said in the chat, did he lose the Liam Knight award? You know, did I have to take it back off him? Well, he fucking comes and throws it back in my face. Mate, it was a cracking performance, but it's not SC. SC's where it's at. He's been solid. He's not off the list just yet. We'll fucking keep you on there. But I tell you what, he's knocking on the fucking door, that's for sure.
That's right. Where are you at anyway? How you looking? What's happening? Last couple of weeks?
420th, mate. 420. 420.
420. Blaze it.
Actually, I think it's 421, but he'll go 420. Mate, look, round 17. Nah, it's a write-off. It's bad. It's fucking hurting. I think I'm going to maybe have 9 players. Currently sitting on 13 trades left.
Any boosts?
No boosts.
Yeah. So you can bring in a max of 6 more if you burned all trades this week and the 4 next week.
Yeah, so I've got 7 at the moment. I'm just, mate, what's on my mind is this Origin and people getting rested and not playing, and you know, you look at the Munster thing and Haas and these guys getting named and you're like, what the fuck? I'm trying to make sure that maybe for the next round or 2 up to Origin, I don't really concentrate too much on it. Just try and come home strong after. But I think I'm too far back overall. I'll be honest. I think if you're not in the top sort of 100, 150, you know, right now I'm about 600 points behind, and I think that's a bit too far. So I think I might just have to concentrate on the head-to-heads, boys.
Mate, PB year for you overall though. What's your best ranking?
474. 474, and I had 722.
Yeah, all right. So you could still have a PB year. Nothing wrong with that. Jeez, you might not win it, but fuck, top 100 might not be off the cards.
Yeah, I reckon I can battle up there definitely with the right steps. But yeah, round 17, I think it'll hurt. What about yourself, mate? How you going?
Oh, mate, I'm the next. I just absolutely love being ranked in that top 2.5 2,500 to 3,000. I think I've been there for the last 4 to 6 weeks. It feels like.
Yeah.
Don't drop anywhere. Don't really move anywhere. Can't improve. So I'm not looking amazing for 17. I think at this point in time I've got 5, maybe 6 if Hines plays.
Yeah.
And that 5 also include Talakai. So assuming he doesn't play Origin 3, but I don't know. I'm probably going to look to burn the 6 trades, as I said, the 2 this week and probably 4 next week to try and bring guys that'll play 17 in, just to try and salvage 11 players maybe. But I'm probably going to be in a bit of pain post 17 rankings wise. But still a few guys I need to look at trying getting in. I don't have Medill Browns, don't have Pappenhausen who returns this week, don't have Maddo. So there's still some pretty decent names on that list that I could look to target that wouldn't be at the detriment of my team for the run home. But yeah, you're gonna.
Mate, I'll tell you what.
Tough couple of weeks, I think.
I may burn 1 trade just to fucking get rid of Cody Walker.
I didn't even fucking stinking it up.
Fucking get rid of the.
Can't wait to get rid of him.
Fucking infuriating this season, Cody Walker, mate. Oh,
I fell for
honestly,
it too.
Fuck, had that cunt too many times this year, and he has been shit.
Yeah, he's been not a shadow of the player he was last year, to be fair. Look, round 17, King, on the horizon, the bye round, obviously, but 16's looming as a bit of a sleeper. As you said, a number of guys sort of in doubt backing up from Origin. Cam Munster, obviously, with the shoulder, he's been cleared a serious injury, but, you know, you'd have to assume he doesn't back up tomorrow night. Thursday night. You got Payne Haas, who apparently had an ankle syndesmosis. Who knows what else? I mean, there's a few other ones in there that aren't Supercoach relevant. Got any concerns for this week, mate? Obviously, the Panthers play early. Cleary, you think you're sweet for this week at this point in time?
Yeah, mate. Yeah. No, I think I'm sweet. Look, Munster obviously is a hurtful one, but I think anyone who's up there has had him or got him. I think he's probably been the primary number 6. So I think the fact that one of us lose up there, 80% of the top 500, I reckon, have Munster. I don't know. It'd have to be close. So, mate, yeah, Payne Haas. I'm sort of glad I didn't get him again after I sort of sold him when he had that first injury. So, yeah, that only a low score last week and last couple of weeks maybe even. But I'm sure with there a few more 50s disappearing from the weekend, mate, due to Origin, there'll be 1 or 2.
For sure. Bogues, you want to give us an update, or you're just too disgraced in it? If you spend as much time on your team as you did the thumbnails, I reckon you'd be top 50, Bogues. Shout out to the thumbnail this week. Love your work.
Hey, you're fucking not going too well with that, Bogan. Oh, there we go. That's better.
Yeah, sorry about that. No, I'm doing shocking. So
it's all right. Form is temporary, class is permanent. You had a good year last year, Bogues.
I didn't have a good year last year. It was the year before I had a good year.
Oh, year before.
The very first year.
We still love you.
I do want to talk about something. Kalen Ponga, mate. I don't think he looks match fit at the moment. I think he's looking slow. He's looking old. He's looking fat. Got this exclusive photograph, BJonGameDay exclusive photograph, Kalen Ponga coming out of Bruce Stadium. Here he is. Mate, that does not look like a professional footballer.
Yeah, he's let himself go a little bit old KP, hasn't he?
Fucking hell, eh?
Yeah.
Not bad. Loved the little intro there. That was good.
Yeah, nice one, Bogues. You caught me there. Nah, look, good one. Went out there to the Raiders nights the other week, boys, and lucky enough to, trying to get the young fellas close enough to KP to maybe get an autograph or whatever. And the young nephew ended up getting his headgear, which is pretty cool.
Oh, it's your nephew, mate.
Yeah, yeah.
No.
So, it was good.
Ownership, mate. You could have pinched it off Ollie. You can't pinch it off the nephew.
Oh, I could have pinched it off him if I wanted to, I reckon. But I think I was still more excited than the both of them. I think, but my young nephew's had a bit of a hard time last sort of month or so. He's been in hospital and pretty crooked and stuff. So it was pretty cool. His favourite player is Ponga, and he's absolutely footy mad. So it was a really cool way to finish the day. The result wasn't great. I carried on like a pork chop for the whole game in amongst all the Raiders fans, and that Hudson Young try at the end, I thought I was going to cop more of a spray than I did. But no, it was a good day out and a pretty good way to finish it. So
That's awesome, mate. Very good.
Thanks for that, Bugs.
Very nice family moments.
Yeah, it was good.
What else are you talking about?
We're around 16? We're in around 16.
Is that what we're here for?
Here we go.
Who's playing? Sea Eagles to Storm.
King, have you looked at team list?
Nah, not got a fucking clue. That's what I'm reading right now, mate. What are you talking about? You talk while I read.
No, likewise. I haven't had a great...
Mate, how is Munster in?
Yeah, he's been named. Interestingly, I think, everyone's assuming there's absolutely no chance he'll play. So, yeah, obviously the beauty of that, they play the first game, so we'll know pretty quickly. But, yeah, classic vintage smoke and mirrors there from Bellamy. I mean, who knows? Is there any sort of world where he backs up? I guess we'll find out. But surely he doesn't. Surely.
So so this is Thursday night, is it?
Yeah, Thursday night. Yeah.
All right, so you got a 4-day turnaround. It's not too bad. I mean, for wear and tear, but when it comes to serious injuries, mate, nah, 4 days is not enough to. Yeah, like I think everyone gets banged up and bruised in a game of footy, and a couple of days later you're good to go again. But if you're actually getting injured, you still be sore, surely.
Yeah, and I mean, he's so important to their side. I mean, look how important he is to that Queensland side, but maybe not as much to that bloody Storm side.
It's funny you say it. Remember that? I think they pointed that out when Jerome Hughes was out a few weeks back. They pointed out how much more the Storm missed Jerome Hughes when he was gone compared to when Munster was out injured and things like that, So I
reckon this year though he's looking a different player. I think I think he just looks amazing this year, but yeah, I don't think they need to risk him. I mean, it's pretty tight in the top 4 there. They do have a little bit of breathing room on the teams in 4th and back. There are a couple of wins on them, and this is a big game for them. But I can't see him backing up. Another big name in that list at the moment, King, is young Pappy. He's in the extended bench at this point in time. He was expected to be back last round 15, but got the spicy cough, so he ended up missing last week. So everyone's assuming he'll be back this week. Have you had a look at Paps at all this week?
Nah, mate, I don't think he'll be back this week. I think they'll give it another week.
Yeah.
All the main players, all the main Supercoach players that have sort of had COVID here or there, and just sort of like Bo Firma earlier in the season. A couple of the other guys that have just sort of had it, Adam Reynolds, guys like that. Whether they're SC related or not, but they've just taken that 1 or 2 weeks to come back and sort of, find their feet again and get their full lungs back. And I think they might just rest Pappy one more. I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong, but I just think there's a lot of guys who are coming back. I think 1 or 2 weeks too early.
I mean, it'll be interesting. He hasn't played since round 9, so he's had an extended period on the sideline. So whether he's ready and raring to go, but yeah, the spicy cough affects everyone differently. So it will be interesting to see what happens. He's a big break even. It's an achievable break even, but it's still pretty high, 145 King, and he's got a big price tag of 929,000. So if he doesn't play this week, he's not going to drop in price before the bye round next week. Is it currently 11% ownership? And I mean, is he must have for round 17 King or?
Oh, sure. Mate, if he is in this week, I think you got to trade him in. Like, I know it's slow, but the thing is, the upside with Pappy is if he is in, he could bounce back and just hurt everyone. You know what I mean? Like, it's one thing to say, he come back slow off COVID and things like that, but fuck, if there's a bloke who can buck the trend, it's him. And mate, 920. How do you get that money though? Not too many people got that sitting there.
I mean, I'm tinkering with the idea of do you jump off Teddy for a couple of weeks? He's got a big break even. They play Penrith backing up from Origin. Their draw does get really good, and like they play Newcastle and the Dragons, I think it was, in the weeks after that. But yeah, it's interesting if you don't have some money in the bank. But I know there's a lot of people looking at young Anderson there for the Storm on the wing. Bottom dollar cheap, plays his 3rd game this week. But if Pap does get put back into the side, Meaney potentially takes that wing spot, or Aaron Mike could drop out. But if Munster's out, Meaney could go to 6, meaning there isn't. So, it's interesting. We'll have to wait and see. Obviously, it's nice having that game, the first game of the round, so we'll know you'll be able to make some quick decisions. But some pretty big ones coming up around Pap in particular. And as well, Harry Grant obviously backing up. It wasn't playing the whole game, but you'd expect he'll back up. But you never know with Harry. He tends to pick up the odd niggle or something every now and then, and could be anything. So just keep an eye on those team lists. And obviously the Storm player is pretty relevant for 17. Obviously, guys like Jerome Hughes, maybe Brandon Smith is a bit of a cheeky. If he's locked down that lock position, he'll probably play a bit of hooker in round 17 with Harry out. You'd have to think. So yeah, you could probably have a look at a few of them. Eagle side of the park, mate. Is there anything catching your fancy? Ruben Garrick's been pretty good. I think Ola's been amazing this season. He's had a bit of a breakout season. Those two
Mate,
probably.
He's been really solid, Garrick. Definitely, obviously stepped up in. Are you there?
I'm here.
Oh, sorry. Definitely stepped up in obviously Turbo's absence. So, I think owners have got to be really happy with him.
Yeah, he's flying. He's been a thorn in my side as a guy. I think a lot of people jumped on him and he's been absolutely killing me. And same with Ola. Hamole has been absolutely killing it. So,
mate,
two keepers for the wrong home, King.
Not owning.
Ola and Garrick keepers.
I haven't enjoyed not owning Ola.
Yeah, he's a beast too. I mean, the Manly's draw is not too bad. They obviously don't play 17, but they run home. They play. They only play Chooks, Para. They're the two hardest games, arguably, in their last sort of 8 games, or 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 or 8 games, or whatever it is. So the draw's not bad. I think they'll be good pods for run home, and they're going to probably hurt me because I won't be bringing them in. That's at this point in time.
Next game, mate.
Oh Jesus!
Fuck! All right, it's a walkover for your boys, mate. You should be way too good for the Titans.
Fucking! Are you serious? Ponga's out for a start.
That's better for
not necessarily a bad thing at this point in time. I think he played better in that first 40. I reckon he set up more creative attacking stats in that first 40 for Queensland than he did for us all season, but he was back to the KP of old in that second half. But no KP. Dane Gagai, I think I saw today, missed 18 tackles in Origin. So hopefully he doesn't continue that form into the weekend.
Absolutely.
Mate, Davey Clemmer, there's a lot of people talking about Davey Clemmer. I think we mentioned him a few times, but he's probably someone with Payne Haas out that you could potentially look at as a bit of a trade. He's not cheap. And he doesn't have the ceiling, obviously, but he's going to get you consistent sort of 60 points pretty much. 60 to 70 most weeks.
I think he's obviously someone at this time of the year that maybe you do chase because a lot of the teams out there, a lot of the SC teams out there, I think have got sort of maybe a little bit weak in the sort of prop or second row areas. So if you don't have him, maybe you do chase him. If you've got him, then he's just solid. He's just been solid this year as he was those couple of years ago.
For sure. With the guys like Frizz seems to be out of favour now in that Blues side for some reason, whether or not he gets caught up for game 3, Barney as well. So I know they're pretty out there, but if you're looking for a pod, something different. Another guy I stumbled across, which probably isn't the best by King, but I still thought, he finishes a lot when Ponga plays, but looking at the history of his stat line now, it's not great. I was looking at Dom Young because he's just a body for 17, but he is 330k, but he only has a 21 break even, and his average isn't great, so maybe
he's just one of those ones, mate. It's a huge it's a huge throw at the stumps.
Yeah, it is.
You have to play with your gut rather than something proven.
Yeah, at this point of the season, fucking around with trades with a guy at mid 300s, it's a bit.
But I reckon we've all got that guy that we sort of think, he could be better. He could be better. And I think what you got to do, especially this time of the year, is probably not go him. Is watch them throughout this year, see what they're doing in the offseason. Push them to potentially a next year play kind of thing, and where does he go to there, Dom or whatever. But anyway. Yeah.
From a footy perspective, he's one of my favourites. I'm a big fan of Big Dom.
Yeah.
Titans side of the park, mate. We obviously won't see the Titans play round 17.
Yep.
In terms of keepers for the run home, I don't know, in this Titan side, the only one I guess probably worth having a chat about, in my opinion, would be Davey Clemmer. He's at 630k. He's named off the bench with 128 break even. He could be a big pod for that run home, but we want to see a little bit out of him. Both for Moore's obviously playing pretty well, and whether or not Fafita ends up getting enough minutes to be relevant. We know Holbrook's a bit of a basket case with him at
But
times.
see that, mate, that's the whole thing. Fafita doesn't need those minutes, mate. We talk about he plays fucking 8 minutes a game and he scores 100 points.
That's a fair point.
That 8 minutes a game might be even more dynamic if he only plays 50 off the bench. So,
I mean, he could hit that break even in 20 minutes off the bench against us, to be fair. So
yeah. So,
but yeah,
I like you thinking that. I just think, maybe a high break even. Let's hope we get a couple of 30 or 40s out of him and get him down at 520 or 540.
reckon Queensland pick him? I mean, they don't play 17 anyway, but just on the side note, any danger he finds his way back in after that performance?
I reckon you have to pick him. I don't even know who the Queensland fucking second row is. I can't fucking remember the cunts.
You've got Kate
but Dave Fafita has to be any second row in any team in the world.
Even coming off the bench, he's Paddy Carrigan and him coming off the bench is pretty lethal. But yeah, anyway, Supercoach wise, I don't know. I'm pretty rubbish the Titans most of the season. Apologies, Titans fans. Bogan, sorry, mate. But yeah, I've not much else to say about the Titans.
Next game. Yeah, okay.
What are you thinking, King?
I'm just thinking, why make these two teams play together after Origin?
Yeah, it's a bit silly, isn't it?
You both know that they're going to have 4 or 5 or 6 players each in Origin. Some could not back out. Like some could not play, some could. Like you sort of take away the spectacle. This should be a best 17 on best 17 for, you'd see half their players fucking out. But anyway. Especially after the rep round as well. But anyway. Mate, I've got huge concerns about Teddy. He used to look like a really good evasive footballer. Now he just looks like they let someone with Parkinson's on the fucking field. I don't know.
I mean, we made this statement in one of the chats a couple of days ago. He's the way he stutters around the park at times can stifle the attack. That said, he's one of the best tackle busters, meter eaters in the game. Look, he's had back-to-back 50s in the NRL, talking Supercoach.
Mate,
you look at the previous 6 weeks before that, and he had 2 big tons, a 90, a couple 60s. I mean,
mate,
you can't write him off.
Drop him to New South Wales Cup. I'm calling it.
Stop it.
Fucking drop the cunt. Put Joey back there.
If they drop him, if they drop him to New South Wales Cup, he'll be playing for the Bears. So I don't mind that idea.
But King,
he's a park footy player, mate.
King, I'm thinking I currently own Teddy. 150. What do we got? 156 in NRL Supercoach stats. Might be something slightly different. 750, just under 750k. Penrith this week, the bye, obviously round 17, where he'll play Origin. Whether or not he backs up for the Dragons and then they play Newcastle after that. One of the only ways I can see myself getting Pappy in easily is from trading Teddy this week.
Yeah.
And I must admit, despite the number of trades I have and all that shit, I'm very much considering it just because of it, purely from a numbers perspective.
Yeah.
And potentially bring him back in round 18 or 19 if the numbers are looking good enough. But I mean, I can't rubbish him. He's had some big scores in the last sort of 6 weeks, but the last couple of weeks weren't amazing. But he's still elite. He's a bit off the pace, I reckon, as you said.
He's not worth changing a legit gun to, right? Like, if you sort of look and think, oh shit, how do I make a cash easy to sort of get to him? He's not worth trading another player that's sort of 700 to 800k. is he worth trading 2 players around that sort of 500 to 600K? I think that potentially he is, but if you got to get 900 odd K to get him, I don't know.
I mean, at the moment as well, there's not any. Perhaps is the main one, but who are your standout fullbacks? Whether you got Hines back there, we'll see what happens with Latrell. Obviously, with Turbo out this season now, so I mean, there's not a huge array of genuine elite options at Supercoach wise back there. So we'll see. But my crazy ass is considering trading him this week. Otherwise, mate, pretty strong team list at this point in time, both sides. If all the Origin players back up, I mean, there's half the bloody New South Wales side between the 2 teams, if not, realistically. So, a big game, mate. Can you give me your thoughts on Taylor May and Isaac Tago? I own both of them. I don't know if you own both of them.
Yeah.
They don't play round 17. The Panthers. Plenty of people talking about trading them or have traded them. I've just stuck with them because I figure Panthers are one of the most
you've got the best attacking weapon
in the comp.
In this team.
On the left edge.
This team has Supercoach points written all over it. These guys have activity written all over them. They combine well. They're having fun.
I like them.
Yeah, mate, they're 2 keepers. The fact that Targo you can get in second row as well, like, mate, I've flicked him around all season long. It's been awesome. But, mate, Taylor May, solid. Targo, solid. It's not worth anyone else to fucking burn a trade.
I mean, if I was going to trade one, it'd be Targo, but I like having both of them.
Yeah.
And I think if you're going to trade Targo, you almost got to go now. They play. Yeah. Chooks this week, he's got a 75 break even or something. He's 500K, but I mean, I like him. I like the idea of having him as a sit and start, but they're pretty much a start every week because that Panthers side's so dominant. But
mate, they are.
Big Bizza was another one, King. I think.
Bizza with the junk time fucking stuff last.
Had a blinder. I was kicking myself because I was saving trades. I just went brought in Mam a couple of weeks, Ilias to Mam or whatever, and Ilias got hooked, so it worked out all right. But I didn't pull the trigger on Toto, and he ended up scoring the 99, and I think he was the one I was telling everyone to buy because he wouldn't be as cheap this season, blah, blah. Absolutely kicking myself. He looks awesome. Just the whole Panthers side just looked really good. They're draw proof, match-up proof, whatever you want to call it.
Mate, yeah, you're right. They can score points against anyone. So, mate, Bizza, very happy to get Bizza there last week or last fortnight, mate. He just looked like he wanted it. That first Origin game, mate. He just looked like he wanted it after that. It's not too late to get on.
And the other one I want to mention, King, and I mean Joe Manu's been absolutely amazing. We obviously had the rep round on the weekend, and he broke some record running 4 billion meters or whatever it was. I think 398 meters, whatever it was.
Oh, yeah.
Suwali, mate. I said it a couple of weeks ago. I reckon he was also match-up proof, and I mean, he's not crazy expensive and he hasn't been scoring tons every week, but is there a world where he's a keeper in the centre wing for the run home?
Mate, if I could have those 5, I don't have Suwali. I've got May, Targo, Toto, and Manu. And Suwali's one that I've sort of regretted not owning alongside, Olakwa too, and there's one or two others. I dead set think he's a keeper. I think he's a brilliant player, Suwali. I think even this, I mean, the kids had, I think, a little bit of a big head. I think being in the New South Wales squad, that'll make his head even bigger.
Wasn't from Radley giving him a bit of a big head, was it? Or?
Oh, but
nah, look, I mean, his scores don't necessarily suggest he's a keeper. I mean, obviously he turned up against Para, scored. I just think he looks awesome. There was a couple of 20s in him in the last 6 weeks, King, and a couple of 80s, 40s. But I really like him. I think he passes the eye test. He's running off Manu. He's an athlete. He's quick.
I see a bigger.
I'd have his babies.
I just see he to me looks like GI in that sort of presence. I don't know. Like he's just. I can see him moving a fullback once Teddy's gone in the next year or two, and just having that frame-like sort of run that GI used to have.
And off Manu, like, fuck, what a combo on that edge. Wow.
Yeah. Mate,
Amazing.
that edge should be destroying every team, and it's just not yet, but I'm sure it'll happen.
I mean, good test. I think, is it, who will it be? Biz is on the right, Swaley's on the right, so it'll be Tago and May up against Manu and Swaley. So that should be a great battle. Great battle coming up.
Yeah. Next game, Bugs. Doggies up against the Sharks. Fuck. Normally the Dogs beat us, and they're actually playing pretty good at the moment. So I'm fucking cutting the Doggies here for an upset. Karaz, minus 40 break even. Matty Burton, obviously great in the State of Origin. Not off the list yet. Hasn't given his award back yet, but he will shortly. But he just needs to pick up that little bit in Supercoach. Mate, Marshall King's been solid. TPJ, mate, talk to us about TPJ. And have you got him? Do you still have him? Did you have him?
I had him. I was, I got baited by him, thinking, how good will he be at the Dogs this season? I think I didn't start the year. I don't know if I started the year with him or whatever, but I did get him in at one point. I got off him when he got ruled out a few weeks ago, and I think that in retrospect ended up being not a bad trade, because then he ended up missing a couple of weeks and then had a 30 in there. But yeah, I mean, he's 500k. He's got a 70-odd break even. He could be, he's pretty cheap if you're looking for someone to get off the Haas. I guess the issue he doesn't play 17. His minutes are just they're a little bit all over the shop. He's playing sort of closer to 50 minutes the last month or so, whereas earlier in the year he was playing like 70 to 80.
Yeah,
I'm probably not going to touch him first of the year, bud, but he could be a bit of a pod at times for the run home. But I don't make calculations at this point.
Mate, on the Sharky side of things, Talakai saw 12, 14 minutes of Origin. Mulatalo played pretty well for the Kiwis. Mate, those two guys, obviously centres, you're in Rami and Qatar. All four of those guys can come into calculations for, I think, spots in people's centre wings in Supercoach.
I think the problem now, King, is the draw really dries up after this week for the Sharks. He's played Melbourne, Cowboys, Penrith, Souths your next month after the Dogs. So
4 wins.
They were the ones to get on leading into 17, but it was sort of like, I mean, they'll probably play a bit of a depleted Melbourne side. I mean, they'll probably only miss quite a few, but Paps and Hughes still there. But yeah, if you're picking them, you're backing them into the hills, because they got a pretty tough month coming up. But their last 5 games are pretty brilliant. So if you can stick with them through the next month, or look to pick them up when they play South in round 20 or the Dragons in round 21, because they finish the year with a pretty good draw. I've only got Mulatano. There was a point in time where I was trying to bring in Katoa, and also Will Kennedy, but I sort of missed the boat on them. Katoa's been pretty good as well. But yeah, I agree. You could probably pick a couple of them, a handful of them, and they'll be decent for the run home.
Fair enough. Next game, Bogues.
Hines captain, I reckon, this week. Cows taking on the Broncos.
Taking on the Broncos.
Saturday night, a rivalry there. Cowboy side of the park.
What time's this one?
5:30, Queensland Country Bank. Saturday night.
Right.
I'm
fucking lost, mate. It's all good.
You're right.
Tired.
A couple of the boys backing up from Origin there. I don't know how many people. I have not had a look at Val Holmes' stats, but I feel like he's been playing some really good footy.
Mate, he just really involved. I think the 2016 Val Holmes, that won the Sharkies a premiership. I don't think we'll ever see that again. But he gets involved every minute of the game if he can. Supercoach wise, it's not tragic, but I don't think he's ever going to be a massive sort of number in Supercoach. Does that make sense?
Yeah, I mean, he's made a pretty successful transition to centre. He's goal kicking. I mean, Cowboys are scoring points. He's a bit of an interesting prospect as a bit of a pod. I don't know if he's in a top 4 centre wing for the run home, but he's a pod. 6% ownership. Something different. Can score tries, can blow up. Don't know. Mate, I got Scotty Drinkwater. I had him for that round 13 fixture, which he,
Ah.
paid dividends on. He didn't pay dividends, I think, in the last. I think when they played, I thought he was going to put some more points on someone. Was it Manly? No. Their draw's not too bad for the run home. It's a bit indifferent. They got a couple good fixtures in there. Am I crazy in thinking that I could keep Scotty Drinkwater as like a bit of a pod in one of my fullback or 5/8s for the next 4 or 5 weeks? Am I an idiot or what?
Is he fullback as well now?
He's 5/8 fullback duality, yeah. But he is 619k and he
Mate,
faces
to be fair, I don't give a fuck because
79
I'm just a
break even.
little bastard.
He's just
he
got that
annoyed me in
blow up
13.
potential, doesn't he?
Huh?
He's got that blow up in him.
He does,
can really
mate. He
blow
does.
up.
And it's just what Melbourne produced. Melbourne produced it. Cowboys obviously getting the benefit because that's where he's ended up. But like Billy Slater and fucking Pappy and Drinkwater, mate. This fucking, it's just like a clone, but maybe a chromosome or two away. I don't know. Fucking.
Anyway, I don't know
all
what to do with
support
him.
so well. They all kick so well. They all fucking chase so well. And they're the size of a jockey.
Yeah, so anyway, a few things there. I don't know what to do with Drinky. I'll have to figure that one out. Someone tell me in the chat what the fuck I should be doing with Drinky. I want to keep him as a bit of a pod. Broncos side of the park, mate. They will play 17. They get Reynolds back this week, which is pretty big for them. I mean, this is a pretty big game, actually. This could be a good game, depending on which, if Brisbane show up like they have been. Payne Haas has been named, as we mentioned. Kingy, whether or not, the initial reports was a higher ankle syndesmosis or something like that, and possibly 4 to 6 weeks. And now
Cunt's out.
he's probably going to play and maybe be sweet.
Cunt's out.
Do you own him? No, you don't own him, do you? Sorry.
Nah, but fuck, he's out.
All right.
It just surely is what, mate. They've risked him in the last few weeks with 2 AC joint issues, and
Shit.
stop playing the fucking bloke busted. Like fuck, let him be good
break.
again.
He's gonna break. He's only a baby too. They look up.
It's fucking dumb.
So,
Anyway.
yeah, I mean that's an interesting one. But as I said, the Broncos will play that round 17 fixture. So, I mean, who are you looking at in that squad realistically? That's not an Origin player. I don't think I could go near Stags, even if he was 400k. He's just the inconsistency is just too much to bear. He produced a couple of good scores earlier in the year, but that was after a month of 30s. I mean, he could be a big pod for 17, but it'd be.
Mate, I'm
going to be over 400k to get him in, and I don't think he's a keeper for the run home. That's the problem.
I tell you what, I thought Luciano had burned me. I thought starting the season with him, I held him, I think, for the first 6 or 7 weeks, and the cunt just the accusations across social media, the fucking pitiful efforts in defence, the disgraceful penalties just given away. I thought I wouldn't fucking get hard for him again. I tell you what, fuck, I've got a horn for the cunt. I reckon he will come good. I reckon he gets a starting spot in the next week or two. And in that team with that confidence, Luciano Leilua, I reckon he could go big over the last 6 to 8 weeks of the comp.
I just don't know about Peyton. Peyton's a bit of a take a ticket in the raffle at times as well. You got Nana who plays 80 every week pretty much, but he does like your Tommy Gilmets and that. I mean, I don't mind it. I do think there's a world where he gets the starting spot. It's just whether or not he's going to play. I mean, he's probably like Fafita. You give him a good 50 or 60 quality minutes and he's going to be effective.
Well, here you go. I reckon, they put Tamalolo on. Tamalolo comes off after 25. I reckon then he comes on, and I reckon Gilbert maybe plays out the fucking first 40. I don't know, I reckon he gets a good 50, 55 minutes in a 3 rotation, 2-man second row. So,
I mean, it's hard because you're not going to pick him up before 17. You want to have a look at the role. We'll see in the next couple of weeks. But then, I mean, he's cheap, 420k. 70 break even this week. He could be sub 400 next week potentially, depending on how many minutes.
Mate, that's yummy. That is yummy. Anyway, next game, folks. Some cunt versus some cunt. Oh yeah, this would be a right game actually. Latrell, he's back.
He is back.
Fucking
Long
AJ,
time.
mate, can he keep scoring tries?
Well, he fucking didn't
Should
score any
you
the other
jump on
week.
AJ?
He didn't score any the week that everyone was hoping he'd score 1,000. Who was that against again? They got rolled by
No,
the
I
Dogs.
know. That's
The
I thought I'd
Dragons.
bring that because I haven't jumped on him yet. But unlucky all those people.
Yeah, I mean, he's a big pod for 17. They play the Knights in round 17. He's 670,000 king with a 90 odd break even. It's not.
Mind you guys don't have any fucking Origin players, do you?
No, and even it's only Ponga anyway, so
Oh,
play better without him. But and then yeah, they play the Dogs. They have a pretty rough run home, so I think you only want to probably target him for the next couple of weeks, to be fair, because then their run home's pretty shit house. In all honesty, I cannot wait to trade out Cody Walker. I'll tell you that much.
oh, mate. I just, same thing. I've been so pissed off with him all fucking year, and then the week where I'm just like, yeah, he's gone. Latrell comes back. And it's just like, what are you two fucking bastards going to do together?
Yeah.
And
I mean, that's the big variable, isn't it? Latrell back. He's a big pod, but I really don't like South Straw, even though he's a bit of a matchup proof guy. I think he's missed too much time at this point of the year. 630k, 135 break even. What I'm looking at is correct.
mate, what about the preseason talk about him? Mate, normally it's only in the preseason where they say, oh, this guy's as fit as anything. He's looking great heading into the season. That's what they're saying about him now. Normally they'll be calling him a fat bastard and unhealthy.
Well, they reckon he lost 10 kilos over in the States in that rehab thing. Like he stripped up. So he could be fitter than he did. He was.
Can someone pay for me to go there? Fuck, I could use.
Well, I mean, the interesting thing, just quickly on it, is whether he's match fit enough. Match fitness is a different thing, and whether they're throwing him straight into Origin, I don't know if that's a good or a bad call. But Freddie will, take it. I think it's better to have him in there than not. But big game player. But yeah, whether that helps Cody, we'll see. Obviously, Origin-wise, just make sure he backs up. Cam Murray, if you've got him, Cam Murray's been pretty good. I think a couple, he could be keeper in that back row for the run home. Parramatta side of the park, a lot of guys that are probably going to be a lot more Supercoach relevant and traded in, given they play round 17. You got Dill Brown is obviously a massive target. Mitch Moses is probably a big pod. Reed Marnie could be a big pod. IPAP, Sevo at just under 500k. I mean, they've got options across the park. Interestingly, this week, King, there was a bit of mail going around from our show, the favourite doctor of the show, Kane Ando, shared a bit of a, I don't know what it was from, but there's some speculation that Maddo will be out this week, potentially.
What? No.
I'm not saying he is, but just keep an eye on those team lists for Madison is rumoured to be out with a niggle from, I think it was the last game. What it was. So just keep an eye on those team list Maddo owners. King, I was someone looking to bring Maddo in next week because he had a big bumper break even this week and it would have been nice for next week, but that's going to really stuff the plan up.
Mate, look, he's been a good workhorse, mate. He's been a good workhorse.
He's been good.
I've enjoyed owning him. I got those couple of weeks where he scored a couple of meat pies, so that was nice. But he needs to be a good little fucking slave boy and get back out in the field and fucking go hard.
I think if anything, for people that do own him, it's probably a blessing in disguise because if he doesn't play this week, he still stays, just under 670 odd K with a pretty big break even. It might put some people off him for 17, hoping he was going to be a bit cheaper.
Yeah, true.
I don't know if I'll bring him in for 17 now because he's going to be nearly 700K.
And I know it's normally concussion related, mate, but as soon as Maddo misses one game, he misses fucking 6.
Yeah, rib niggle. Kando, cheers, mate. Yeah, so wait and see. But if you do own him or you're looking to bring him in, just keep an eye on those team lists and make sure you got a backup plan. But as I said, plenty of relevance across the park in that Parramatta side. I think Dill Brown's must have. He's electric this season.
Tired.
Pods like Sippo and I think IPAP's have as well. But yeah.
Next game. Fuck these guns. Look, returning to Unzed. The Warriors back home in front of their home crowd.
Absolutely.
That's all I got to say about this game. Fucking hell, there's just Mate, Ewan Aiken, he's still a hold. He's playing well enough.
In the
he
centres
plays.
this week. In the centres.
Yeah. No. Joshy Curran came back last fortnight, I think. He had the long hair that looked like Thor. God, it was beautiful. West Tigers, no. What happened to? What's the story with these West Tigers and the illegitimate whatever?
Oh, I'm not sure. It's there's all speculation, nothing confirmed at this point.
Hold on.
No,
hold
what,
on. The illegitimate whatever? I need you to expand on that.
Oh, mate, they're talking about how fucking 3 or 4 of them have been done with an illicit substance, was it, mate? Or like...
Yeah,
I
there
think
was
they're
some
talking
speculation.
It's not a performance-enhancing
rumour.
substance. Who gives a
in
shit?
a pub, fucking sound like they were getting on the fucking gear.
So yeah, look, it was all speculation, and there was some people throwing around the name that's in that team list this week. So
He's number 4 on the Tigers side. If you didn't know the fuck.
Yeah,
he was.
so, I
Well,
mean-
there's a reason why they use the jet, mate.
Yeah, he's fucking rocket fuel.
So yeah, I mean, again, pretty hard to bring in any of the Warriors players given they don't play 17, and I don't. King, you got priors here on this show, mate. You just blow up.
Oh, what?
You got priors on this show.
Yeah, I had to edit a live stream once because of you, King.
Oh, yeah. That's right.
Is there any world where you're bringing in anyone from that Tigers side for 17? There's probably 2 names that you could. Oh, it'd be a Longbow. It'd be Noel Faluma at 529k as an ultra desperate pod, and maybe Garner if you wanted to. But even I just don't know about Tigers players at this point.
Nah, none of them, mate. No,
Not worth burning a trade just for 17 because they're not genuine keepers.
Yeah.
But Curran is. Keep eyes on Curran. That's probably the only one that worries us. That's a genuine keeper, in my opinion, for the run home. Tohu, I think, has lost it a little bit. That ACL's obviously been, but Curran, keep eyes on Curran.
Curran looks fucking good.
Yeah, Curran's getting ripe too. Curran will be nice and juicy post 17.
Oh, very juicy.
Next, to finish off the blockbusters on Sunday.
What the fuck? What's with this shit Sunday? Get that? Like, fuck.
They should have put the fucking Chooks Panthers in. Give them a bit of extra rest. Fucking,
Yeah.
you know, premium 4 o'clock.
Enjoy your
shit.
Sundays, ladies and gentlemen, watching. Like, go and have a picnic or some shit, because the footy's probably not worth watching.
Is there anyone here fucking relevant? Lomax, maybe?
Yeah, Dragons will play 17. Lomax is worth a look.
But
Otherwise, pass.
they play 17, but
Hard
there's,
pass.
you know, mate, Ben Hunt was always a go if he was at hooker, but this year, no.
In Origin as well, so
It's
no.
3 Origin games enough for him to get hooker in Supercoach?
Nah. Lomax would be the only one. The rest is your bloody pushing shit uphill, I reckon.
And
And
made a few Raiders, you know, Tarpanay,
he's killing it.
Hudson
Killing it.
Young's in good form, but around that, mate, the Raiders are probably the same. You don't really want any other than those sort of 2 guys, and yeah.
no, I agree. Tapanay is probably the only one with, especially that front row, but no 17. So he's a keeper in that front row for the run home based on his current form. But not much else I'll be touching in Classic personally.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
What else you got, boys?
That's it.
Oh, good. Yes.
New format. Me and Brent decided it's just the team list. Yeah.
Done.
So we'll do special episodes to update people on the leagues and stuff like that now and then. But so you guys can talk.
Oh, we're scrapping the leagues as well.
Yeah. So you guys can talk the what people want to hear about, and that's who's playing this weekend.
God, I look good.
Kendo reckons Rabba. I think it was last week you had to get Rabba because he was sub 200. Well, maybe not. He's 320. Fair call, Kendo. 3. It's just you're going to get the sub. You've had the look at his year. You either get 70 to 100 or you get sub 30. There's some young scores. Ravalawa. That's the problem. I know it's going to be a 17 thing and a sit and start, but even that, yeah, maybe he's a downgrade. But at 317k, it's a little bit awkward. But does
He's
play
just-
17.
He's got those 3 or 4 try games in him, but not as many as the AJs and those, Addo cars and stuff like that. So I just don't think you can jump on him expecting even that little bit more than 17. You'd want more than that. So
I mean, he's one of those guys though. When he scores tries, he scores them in bunches. He's poor man Sivo at the moment, and
yeah.
I mean, it could be. It's a fair punt, I reckon.
All right, boys and girls, is that it?
That is it.
All right.
Yes. I'm going to bed. Good night, ladies and gentlemen. Gonna hang up.
All right. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen, for tuning in as always.
Like, rate, subscribe, all that stuff. We're sort of coming into the slow period of the season.
Hit the little bell. Ding.
So
We've only had like fucking 15 viewers tonight.
Yeah.
So
So we're getting into that where all the pretenders have deleted the app, and we're left with just the gold in the pan. So
oh god, it's fucking tarnished. That's the fucking gold left. Jesus.
But we
Oh,
want shout outs. Kendo wants shout outs. What do you want shout outs for?
shout out.
Well,
Cheers, Matty.
shout outs to the Triple SC
Matty,
podcast,
Shilsey, JP,
Supercoach, Carb,
earlier.
Podmasters.
Adrianosaurus.
Shout out to Big Ted for when he watches it in the morning.
JP Shieldsy, Big Ted. He's flying. He's gonna fucking trade himself to glory or not.
Shane-
Big Teddy.
Shane Foot, who we shouldn't be
Footy,
shouting
Yeah,
how are you,
that's-
mate?
He's blessed with the team he supports.
Troy Boy. JP, thanks for tuning in, guys. Legends, as always. Good luck this week. Big couple of weeks coming up with the bye round next week and the
King's gone. The king has left the building. Yeah. Oh, well, we'll see how we go. Might do a leagues update next week. There's only 4 games on. Everyone's got a podcast now, mate. That's why the market is saturated. You won't be around in a few weeks. The sound's gone. So there we go.
Okay.
So Brent's got, just to reiterate, what any day now. You might not be along for the ride for weeks. Yeah, they can hear you now, mate. I turned your sound back on. It's when King hung up.
All right.
Everything.
Yeah, baby number 4 due, so I could be MIA very shortly.
Number 14.
And then I'm going to get the snip. If you know of anyone good, let me know. If you got any discount vouchers or anything, boys.
Mate, that is not something that you want to discount.
Oh, whatever. Just sort it out.
Get someone good to handle that.
Get it out, get it in. That's my motto. Wait. Oh, that's... So I'm in my situation that I'm in now, I think.
Yeah. Anyways, have a good evening,
Folks,
everyone. Like, rate,
thank you as
subscribe,
always,
share.
man. Thank you all. Good luck this weekend. May the Supercoach gods be kind, guys. Have a good night and a good weekend ahead.